Hey you guys, thanks so much for clicking on my channel. We're all smiles over here. I am Will Sanja, just like asking a question. Will Sanja help you keep a smile for today? And hopefully the answer is yes, you guys. I'm gonna try not to keep it long, but y'all already know. If it gets good, I'm gonna keep on talking. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. The goal next today is you need help. But before I get to what running my mouth, let's go ahead and do what shaking this manifestation jar, and then we're gonna talk about it. Okay? Let's see. And I pulled out 2 or 3, and the first one says what? Get a raise. Congratulations. The next one says what? Strong marriage. We'll take that all day long. Yes, we will. And last but not least says what? Multi streams of what? Income. And we'll take that all day long. Listen, you need some help. Just like at times I need help. The thing is, when we're not aligned and connected, we think we don't need help. We think that we all we need. In other words, what? The 9 to 5 is going to provide, right? Or me being an entrepreneur is going to provide. Or the title in front of my name is going to provide. Or the degrees behind my name is going to provide. And every single time that you're in that state and that mentality, what happens? You come up short. You come up short either financially, emotionally, somewhere you're coming up short. And it's leaving you frustrated. Why? Because you're saying, I got all of this. I got degrees. I have a job. I'm a boss. Why can't I have this? Why can't I keep this? Why this isn't happening? What's going on? It's because you're forgetting that by you having all those things, it's only allowing you to gather resources. You're only gathering resources with the 9 to 5. You're only gathering resources by you being an entrepreneur. You're only gathering resources by the titles in front of your name. You're only gathering resources by what? The degrees you have or the non-degrees you have. You're only gathering resources, and you're forgetting that God, the source, is the one that provides the resources. So when your resources are short, where should you look to? Where? You should look to the source, right? But when you're not aligned and connected, we don't look to the source. We don't. We think that 9 to 5 gonna take care of it. Or you look to your husband, or you look to your wife, or you look to your title, your name, or you look to you being a boss, or you looking for this and that, and everywhere where you're supposed to be looking. You're trying to figure that thing out. And what's leading? That's the mind-binding ego. What does God say? Trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not to thine own understanding. In all thine ways, acknowledge him, and then he'll do what? Direct your path. That's the problem. You ain't trusting God. You're trusting the 9 to 5. You're not trusting God. You're trusting that you're an entrepreneur and you can get it done. You're not trusting God. You're trusting the title in front of your name. Doctor this and doctor that and doctor whatever. You're trusting the degrees that you have instead of trusting God. Which means what? You're leaning on your own understanding. And trust me, you can have degrees from Florida to Timbuktu and you still won't have enough understanding to understand what God knows, okay? You still won't have enough. You still won't have enough. So if you have degrees or not, you will not have enough understanding no matter what. You're going to have to acknowledge not just that God is God, but acknowledge that God can handle what you need, that he is your provision. Sometimes we just forget to acknowledge how great God is. He can do any and everything. What if you just sat down and said, God created the earth, God created man, then I know he can create this little bit that I so desire. The resources that have fallen short, I know he can what? Multiply that thing. He can, but we don't think about it. We don't acknowledge God. We're so busy in our own head, in our own understanding, based on what? The past and whatnot. God sees your future. He sees the future. He sees what to come, which is the best. So why not lean to his understanding? Because he knows what's coming up next. He knows. So if you lean on his understanding, if you do what? Have his understanding, then you'll be led in the right direction. Which means what? It'll provide more resources from you. Why? Because now you're getting it straight from source versus you trying to get it yourself. You're going to need more than your strength. This right here is going to require more than what you have. And you just don't have it by yourself. I know you're a man. I know you're the man of your household. But ain't that wrong admitting that you can't do it alone? Stop trying to fool yourself that you got it. And you don't. You don't have it by yourself. If you rely on God, if you trust in God with all your heart. Once you begin to trust in God, then it says where? Lean not to thine own understanding. And when you really begin to trust in God, that means where you're getting all the way aligned and connected. And guess what? When you're all the way aligned and connected, you're not going to want to lean to your own understanding, because you already know you don't know diddly. You don't. Because when you lean on your own understanding, what happens? That's the mind, body, and ego at work. And I told you, mind, body, and ego don't know jack. They can only witness what God shows it, right? So when you are trusting God with your whole heart, you're not going to lean to your understanding. You're going to lean to God's understanding. And then you're going to start acknowledging God. You're going to say, God, I'm so grateful for this. I'm so grateful for that. God, you are wonderful. You are amazing. You're going to start out your day with a prayer. God, guide me on how this day should go. God, bless me with this and that and that and that and how you see fit. And then what? God will begin to direct your path throughout the day. If you're saying you had a bad day at work, that things didn't go well for you today, it's because God didn't guide it. He didn't guide it. And here's the thing, when God is guiding it, and if it didn't go the way you thought it was going to go, you still know that it went the way it was supposed to go. Because that's the way God wanted it to go for that day. It's only when we're putting our input in on how we think it should go, and then we really have a loss. Because when God is guiding and directing you, you'll have a different emotion, a different feeling when things don't work out the way you thought it was going to work out that day. Why? Because you'll know that, oh, well, obviously God didn't want it to go that way. So I'm not going to say it was a bad day. I'm going to say it was a great day. How was your day, honey? Oh, it was amazing. Well, what happened? Well, we lost this client and we lost the other client. And we had a good day. Yeah, we had a good day. Because I asked God to guide me and direct me. I leaned to God's understanding. And so he's obviously directing my path. So if we lost these clients and we lost these clients, then that means what? God got us on the right track. It's only when you're not leaning to God's understanding, and when you lose some clients, then it's going to be bad for you, because that means God is not directing your path. And it's really going to be a hard blow. And then you're really going to be looking crazy like that. You're going to be looking crazy like, we're going to be in a pickle, honey, because we're losing these clients and whatnot. That's why you got to trust God. Trust God with all thine heart and lean not to thine own understanding. In all your ways, in all your ways, in all your ways, whichever way you about to step out to do a project or do this or do that, whatever it is you about to do, acknowledge God in all your ways. And he will indeed direct your path. And the path that God will take you on is a prosperous path. It's a path where your resources won't run short. And even if it seems like the resources will run short, God will always have a ram in the bush for you. You'll always be provided for. Y'all understand what I'm telling you? You need some help right now. You've been doing it by yourself for too long. You've been thinking that you're the one with all the power, and you're not. It's the power that runs within you. Give it the lead. Let it lead, which is God at core. You've been trying to lead for so long, and you're going in circles. You're getting dizzy over there. That frustration, that's a sign of dizziness. That anger, that's a sign of dizziness, because you're taking yourself in circles. Get out of that cycle. Get out of the cycle of being frustrated. Get out of the cycle of getting the short end of the stick because you're leading. Get out of that cycle. Trust in God with all your heart and lean not to your understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will indeed direct your path. He'll direct. You won't have to be guessing over there. You won't have to be doing any minute, mind, and mo. Catch a tiger by his toe. If he holler, let him go. Out go the rat. Out go the cat. Out go the lady with the seesaw hat. You won't have to do that. I'm telling y'all the game I used to play growing up. But you won't have to do any minute, mind, and mo. You will not. You won't have to play the guessing game of which way you should go. Why? Because God will be directing your path. I hope y'all got this thing, because you really need help. Just like at times I need help. And when I'm not all the way aligned and connected, I'll be over here dizzy. I do, because I'll be taking myself in circles. When I can avoid all of that and just give it to God, trusting in him wholeheartedly. And that way I want to lean on my own understanding. Because I don't know Jack. I don't know nothing without God. I don't know nothing. I don't. But when I lean to his understanding, I'm able to acknowledge him that he can do it. And then, like I say, the answer comes like that. Why? Because he begins to direct me. Let God direct you. He will. He see you over there spinning. He see you dizzy and you about to pass out. Some of y'all already passed out. Y'all are straight out fainted. Give it to God. Trust him. Let him lead you. Let him guide you. He will indeed direct your path. You need some help. And help is there. You just have to decide to use it. Y'all get it? Got it good? I think I said that about 2 or 3 times, which means I need to close out. But if you didn't get this thing, do what? Rewind and watch again. But in the meantime, in between time, if you take just a little bit of what I'm telling you and apply to your life to the best of your ability, you won't ever have to mess with a smile. Why? Because your smiles will always be genuine. I'll talk to y'all soon. Be blessed, stay blessed, be blessed, stay blessed, be blessed, stay blessed. Use the help that is provided for you, and that is source of all resources. Y'all know what's coming next. Ciao.